So now we are going to declare our smart contract. So to do that, in the previous session I talked about, we looked at an instance where we are declaring, and I said there are things that come in handy at this instance. For example, the configuration file, the account.json, which contains the account.json file, and then the keystone, the JSON file. So in that, I will head to my terminal, and then to declare, you just say Starknet declare, and then the location of the target. So our target folder is in ERC20. So in this case it is our target folder is one which has our compiled code. So it's under dev, which is the subfolder under the target folder. So it's right here. Yeah. So when we are declaring, we have to say Starknet declare. Yeah, Starknet declare, and then the location of the target folder, which is under target dev, and then the file ERC20. It's right there. Then as well you have to add the location of your keystone of your account.json file. In my case it's already stored under Starknet. We covered this in the previous tutorial, previous session. So Starknet wallets, then deployer, and then account with JSON. And then as well we are going to add the location of the keystone. So in this case it's the same folder, only what changes is the file. Keystone, the JSON, and then after that we as well have to add the RPC. So I'm using the Nethermind RPC because it's free, you don't need an API key. So to access that, just go here to the browser and look for Nethermind. So we need an RPC because we are not using a local node. So in case you're using Katana, you have a local node. But since we are using an already deployed node, so we need an RPC. So head straight here and copy this. After copying, come and add it right there. So it requests you to add your password. This is the password which you use to create your smart wallet. So it's telling me not declaring class as it's already declared. So I had already declared this smart contract. So but this is the class hash which is generated. I'm declaring for the first time. So after doing that, then we have to head and to see how we can deploy. So still following our documentation. So our documentation says that proceed to deploy the MKT token using Starknet. So this is an this is a token, an ERC20 token, and just to see something important right here, when we are initializing the smart contract, which is under the constructor, we initialized it with an initial supply. How many tokens are going to be supplied, like close to the supply of the token, how many are there in number, and then the recipient address, yeah, so which is the contract address. So in that, when we are deploying a smart contract, we have to pass in the initial variables. So in that, it's an initial supply and then the recipient contract address. So in this, the original says initial mint 1 million tokens, given that MKT token comprises 18 decimals, and then to the power 1018, because everything is to the power 1018. So it will be that, and then due to the contract expectation of the U256 value, provide both low and high values. Yeah? So you are providing the value for 1 million tokens, and then the lower value is 0. Then as well, you have to provide the receiver address, which is the wallet address. So it can be a wallet address. So when you are deploying, we have to provide the class hash, which is right here, and then those constructor variables. So to deploy, you just say Starknet deploy, and then you copy and paste the class hash here. And then we are going to copy actually it's handled properly right here. So we are going to add our accounts. Okay, so already here. Location of our account with JSON file. Then after that, we are going to add the keystone file location. We are as well going to add the RPC. Then after that, we add the initial supply. The high and low values. Then after that, we add the recipient address. So it can be any wallet address. So it can be any wallet address. So after doing that, then we are good to run, to ask for a key store password. So the key store password is the password you use when you are creating the smart wallet. Then they're telling us the contract is going to be deployed at that, so the contract is now deployed. So we now have our smart contract deployed on the Sequoia testnet. So you can verify that by heading over to Voyager. By heading over to Voyager, so then we paste in, so Voyager is like an explorer, so then Starknet Explorer, then we post in the deployed contract. So we have to change that we want Sequoia. Want the mainnet. So when you paste in the contract, it will show you that our contract is right there. Yeah, and so from what the contract, what we are going to be working with a lot is the contract ABI code. So the ABI code is sort of like JSON representation of the smart contract. So because we are writing, we are going to write a front end, and the front end is to connect to the back end. So all we need is to connect to is the JSON data. So in that we find the ABI codes under codes. So it's right there. Yeah. So then after that is that ABI code which we are going to have in an ABI qualifier and call it ABI.json, and then it's from that ABI code that we are going to interact with the functionalities of the smart contract, like getting the balance. So after doing that, we can go back to head over to our documentation notes and see the next steps. The next step is installing the Starknet library. Yes. So I will head back to the main directory, then you can say npm init Starknet. This will run Starknet React. Yeah, Starknet React, which is the main library for this, which is a way of scaffolding the Starknet React project. So I'll use I already have a front end which I initiated, so I'll just, that's how you initiate it. So I'll just head to demo Starknet, and then to verify that it's working, you just run npm run dev. Yeah, it's working properly. So then you can open this to check out it. So for the documentation, so they're telling us to head over to the ERC20, the page, the TX file. So I can just open my Next.js project. So they are telling us to head over to the page.txt file. So page.txt file and copy this code right here. Yeah, so I'm having an error. Then after that, so I've copied the code, and after that we design a balance so I'm having an error in the wallet bar in importing the wallet bar. So I will just try to import it. Still having some error warnings. I need to install some. I can just head back to the package with JSON. I already have Starknet installed. Why is it showing me that I can just change this to address. Let me see the error vanishes. So how do I get the block hash? Trying to iron out this error. I can pass comment out this. Pass comment out is to avoid any errors. So following the documentation, they're telling me to run. To run my code, so I'll just head straight to my code is showing that it's already running. You just have to copy this link and head to the browser. And run it from the browser. I'm going to be using it for testing. So I already see some warnings right there of some duplications. It's taking quite long to finish running. So now you see that my code, my front end opens right there. So we can beef it up with telling me to head to we are going to design a balance component, and we are going to under the components. So under components, we don't have a balance component, and we are going to call it balance TypeScript. So I'm just going to copy this code. Paste it here. So they're telling us to replace the address of your deployed contract. So let me get my deployed contract. So my deployed contract is right here. So I'll copy it. Paste it in here. So as well, you can see that my lint is complaining that I don't have the ERC20, the JSON. So it's giving me a location. So it's under assets. So you can put it anywhere. I can put it. So I can decide to put it here. So let's go ahead and copy our API codes. So we get our API code, it's right here. I suppose I've copied the whole of it. I can say Ctrl+C. Let me call it ERC20.json. And I've pasted it right there. So after doing that, try to follow my documentation. What does it say? So on doing that, so let me make sure I don't have any errors. So in my balance.tx file, let me import my API properly. Then I as well make sure that I resolve any sort of errors. So I'm supposed to read from the contracts. So let me just Google something right here, how to use use contract read. Maybe do it properly. So it's supposed to be use contract read in Stack. So it's now called use read contracts instead of use contract read. So the hook was changed. That's why it's very good to follow up with the latest updates. So the hook was changed from use contract read to use read contract. So let me go in my code and change that as well. Use read contracts. So it resolves all the errors properly. So it's very good to follow up with the latest updates in the packages. So let me go back, head over to my documentation. So they are telling me to create another component called transfer.tsx. So under components, transfer.tsx. So copy this code right here and paste it. So still there are some errors in the code. And one of them is, so we need to check up as well. Actually, I wasn't supposed to copy everything. So I was supposed to end here. Paste right here. This as well is use write contract. So we are telling us that, so instead of the, because we see that we need in our code that use contract, right? And because we are using a new version of Starknet React, so we have to follow with the change, the updated component for writing the contract. So, and in the contract, if I to go to the documentation of Starknet React, they're telling us this hook is now called, the use contract, right, is now called use send transaction. It's very good to follow up with the latest trends. So instead of use contract, right, is now use send transaction. Still we can see that we have an error right there in the calls to use send transaction. I still have an error right there which I'm supposed to rectify. So let me go back to the code. So use send transaction. And one of the calls one of the arguments in the calls it's supposed to be the, so we have the send and the error. Yeah. This is supposed to be send. Right there, that's supposed to be send. This is supposed to be send right there. So now we realize that I have no error. I have no error right there. So I can follow the documentation and see what I'm supposed to do next. So they're telling me updating. So they're telling me first replace the contract address with the wallet with the address of your deployed contract. That's how it's supposed to be. So I'm supposed to replace this contract address with the address of my deployed contract. So let's copy a deployed contract right here. So let's copy that. And paste it right here. Copy that and paste it, and have to make sure that it's the same. Yeah, it's the same right there. Head back to my documentation. So then they're telling me proceed to modify the wallet's the tx file with this code right here. So I'll just go and copy this. Copy it and then head over to the wallet's tx file. It's supposed to be this one here. So I'm supposed to rename it to wallet.tsx. First rename it. I'm supposed to rename it, and right there I rename. then after that, just following the documentation still, telling me that this basic code defines the right component to offer a more interactive experience for users intending to connect and environments. So now when you're finalize the application setup, you need the ABI file from the MKT token. Follow the steps below. So they told me at the root of my project, create a new directory named assets. So I'll create a new directory called assets. And they are telling me inside the assets directory, create an empty JSON file named ERC20 or JSON. So they're telling me to go back to my ERC20 Cairo project folder and locate the ERC20 target. So let me just open that right here. You get the Sierra codes. So, but I don't need to head back actually. Had already obtained my ABI, my JSON from the ABI code. So let me just do this. So I just have to copy this code right here. Paste it here. So my app is supposed to be working properly without any errors. So let me check on it from the browser. So it's saying I have an error. So there is some change that I need to make. So let me head over to page. So let me try reloading. So still I have this error. So this is supposed to be wallet.tsx. So let me try and resolve this error. So now my Dapp is supposed to run properly. Let me just head back to the browser. Yeah, so you can see that my Dapp runs properly. So when I hit so you can see that my Dapp runs properly. So when I hit browse, so when you hit choose a wallet to connect to tell you which one. Now when I hit browse, it will pop up the browse screen, and then I'll enter in my password. Yeah, so when I enter after connecting, now you will see that connects properly, and yeah, that means it's working. So I think I'm on track. Just following my documentation still. So you may try to beautify it a bit, but I'm just going to change something small right here. So I'm just going to say a basic I'm just going to change something small right here. Starknet Kampala basecamp project. And the change has to reflect. So you can see that my change reflects right here. So that's how we can integrate our React front end to a smart contract. Pretty amazing and so straightforward, thanks to Starknet React. Then after that, in my documentation, it says that we have to deploy it. So in case you haven't yet signed up for Vessel is it's very easy to deploy your web application in Vessel. So you can head over to Vessel and deploy your project. I'm not going to cover that in this tutorial. Thank you so much. So that marks our end of this session and our sessions with Starknet Kampala Basecamp. It has been an amazing Basecamp, lots of learning, and I'm sure we can now try to build something on Starknet. So thank you so much for everyone, and then for everyone who has been always engaging in the sessions, for those who have dared to ask questions, to reach out to me. Thank you so much. Let's keep it strange.